the longer I'm just trying to help you out here.
All right, we can start. You ready? You happy days?
All right, we're starting. Yep. Yeah, I've already started. I started
Right.
like 10 minutes ago.
So, welcome to Woefully Underprepared, episode 5, according to a co-host. He says it's episode 5. I'm not inclined to believe him.
More prepared than this guy.
Dude,
It's
we're
episode
pretty
5.
not prepared this time around. It's been a busy week.
Yeah,
for some of us.
we even
So last week
friggin'
we didn't record an episode because I forgot and you didn't remind me.
yeah, that's not my fault though.
I think it is your fault. But it was also like it wasn't that interesting of a week. There was not a lot going on. But this week is very interesting. Lots of big
we
lots
got
of big
a
spicy
couple of
news.
things. Even a few things you could say. A few things is a little bit more than a couple.
All right. Just start. Pick a story and go.
We already
with it.
did. Fortnite's got bots now. Fun times.
Yeah, so Fortnite, when facing a decreasing player base, as they have been for a while now, I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
They're not really though. They're not dying. They're
not dying.
less
They're
than
on the slippery slope, the slow decline. Yeah, as I said, I mentioned that was the wrong gun. Whoops. I mentioned I think it was a couple of weeks ago that like Fortnite's like year-over-year revenue is like of like April last year they earned like $450 million, and then April this year they earned like $350 million. I'm pulling those numbers out of my ass, but I think they're close to right. I'll have a link in the description for the actual story, and I'll probably put an annotation in the video somewhere.
A slight sort of return with that then is, I went looking for sources about that because I knew I'd heard it somewhere, and I found a whole bunch of articles that talked about a 48% month-over-month revenue decline in comparison to December 2018 to January 2018. I also found a whole bunch of articles that talk about a 38% revenue drop in comparison to May this year from May last year. However, that said, they all reference the same super data report that I could not find. And there were a whole host of sources for this, but I couldn't find the most, like, original source. So, I mean, I assume it's right, but given that I couldn't find the most original report, I thought it important, just from the stance of good journalism, to mention. And being as transparent as possible to mention.
So that you know that
Yeah, games kind of die over time. Like, Overwatch was a big thing for a really long time, and it's still relatively big, but it's mostly like... Yeah, the games just die over
Dude, Overwatch
time,
is on
and it's
Switch
just a sad thing.
It's a whole bunch of
like,
super sweaty people that are sweating their sweat off. Yeah, so in order to sort of curb this slow decline that they're kind of going through at the moment, their Season 10 update, I think it's the 10.4.0 or 10.
Yeah, it's a
patch.
hot patch for update 10.
Is going to add skill-based matchmaking, essentially, so you will match with people that are a similar level in play to you. And on top of that, if there's not enough people at that level, or they can't get enough people fast enough, they're going to put bots in the game, which apparently PUBG Mobile already does.
Yeah,
and,
it's
naturally,
just more
people are kind of mad about
it. Are they mad? I thought they were happy about it.
I imagine people are mad about it.
I would be like, yeah, friggin' now it's easier to get wins because I'm fighting bots.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea because, yeah, like 90% of the reason why I've never played Fortnite is because I didn't care about it when it came out. And by the time I was like, maybe I should play this. I think I played like one game and got like stomped.
Yeah. Because people know how to build, they know how to like do all the speed hacks.
Yeah, and Fortnite was alright when like it was first starting out and people would occasionally like throw up a couple of walls every now and then, but like now, like if you get into a game with like people who are actually good, it's like you start a gunfight with them and then they construct the Washington Monument, and it's just like, alright, sweet, what am I supposed to do about this?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe
Go ahead.
The
Yeah.
bigger players are the ones that are complaining, which I understand, like, they won't be as good anymore because they're fighting people on their level and they don't get to just, like, wreck scrubs. Which, I mean, sad times, but, you know.
Also, like, Battle
What can I do?
Royale is really, like, odd from a content creation standpoint. I think Datto was talking about this.
It's mostly cosmetic based, isn't it?
No, from, like creating YouTube content and stuff for it.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You basically can't. Fortnite's
It's sort of
very
like,
good at helping YouTubers.
unless you're really good and you're winning, there's kind of no point. Like, Datto mentioned that he put out one of the few Fortnite videos he made was like, it was this really, really close game that ended up being like, if he landed one more shot, they would have won. And like the whole game, like their backs were against the wall and it was super tight and they played really well the entire time. But because they didn't win, all the comments on it were just like, why did you put this out?
Yeah.
No one gets
Yeah, but like,
Piccolo. No one.
yeah,
Stand by
Fortnite
for
works
rescue.
pretty well in
I'll
like
break those
creating
moments myself.
content avenues, like the Thanos MCU thing. That was kind of
It's because they put out so much content so quickly. Because like their
Yeah, but-
basically whole team is working on it.
unless you're Ali,
And they have like millions of dollars.
don't
Like
know any
literally
other
hundreds of
Fortnite
millions of
streamers.
dollars.
Ninja. Yeah, unless you're Ali or Ninja, you're not making money off that content. But yeah, bots. I think that's a good idea. I think.
Yeah,
it's,
I think as from like the content creation standpoint, I think it'll make it easier for people to get who are just starting out to get wins, which means they'll be able to make more videos, which means it'll get more traction. But we'll see how long it allows Fortnite to survive. Because I mean, Fortnite is still a massive game. It is still arguably the biggest game on the planet, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
I think.
But it is very
WoW
much
is
on the
beating
decline.
it at the moment. At least on
think-
Twitch.
On Twitch,
But
yeah,
mix
maybe.
them.
I mean, I can look at the Twitch numbers right now, dude. We can do it. We can do it live.
Mixer might be doing. Mixer might have more Fortnite viewers because of a.
'Cause that's where Ninja is.
Of a one dude. If you look up Mixer. Sometimes.
Yeah,
it
if you look up-
recommends
If you look up Mixer, I'm pretty sure
3
the
years
top
or something like
thing is like.
Just like on Google. It's just Ninja. Yeah, Fortnite's got the
League.
most views.
League,
Oh, no.
WoW, Fortnite. Yeah, so it's still like
music.
it's sitting pretty in like the top 10 on Twitch. So it's not, as I say, it's far from dead. It's still making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like in a month, it makes like $100 million, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But also, like in terms of business sense, if you're not growing, you're dying. And Fortnite, I think, sort of
It's dying.
reached everywhere that it could, and then people stopped caring.
I think it's going the way of Overwatch. I think that might be what happens to it. I think it might just kind of fade into the background. But Fortnite's the highest game on our Mixer at the moment. So
That doesn't surprise me.
yeah, me neither. 430 Destiny 2 streams.
Yeah, and like a couple of months ago, Twitch left. No, not Twitch. Ninja left Mixer. Ninja left Twitch for Mixer. Holy shit. And that's sort of like, again, that kind of plays into the idea that Fortnite's dying, so he wouldn't be able to maintain his sort of viewership and the amount of money he earns, so he probably took a slightly worse deal from Microsoft than what he already gets, but it's probably like 10 years, maybe 5 years, that Microsoft will just pay all his bills for him and give him all the money in the world.
They just need to, like, Mixer is not doing well, even though we're streaming on it. They get 5,000 viewers. That's the highest viewers for Fortnite at the moment. Well, Twitch is hitting 33,000 on the low end for Fortnite. So,
Yeah, I mean, sort of Twitch has been big dog for a while, so I think it'll take a long time for people to migrate away from it. Like, nothing that gets that big dies overnight.
yeah.
It's the same goes for both Twitch and
Care to explain what's going on?
Fortnite. Like, it's not gonna go away overnight.
More
but it
precisely,
is
I remade it
on
using
the
the power
slow
of the
decline. I think
droids.
that's why things like
Fortunately,
the Epic
the
Store
situation
exist,
matters.
because
Escaped my
Epic was
oversight.
smart enough to know that Fortnite's not going to print money forever, so we need to find another avenue.
I mean, the Epic Store existed before Fortnite, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I mean, you learn something new every day.
Fucking, speaking of storefronts, this is not something I've got listed, but it's worth mentioning. Rockstar has a storefront now.
That's stupid. They don't even sell games.
Yeah, they
Talking
do.
about storefronts, though,
They sell games now.
They sell. They don't have. They usually just sell games.
They
only
sell
have
they
Rockstar.
sell the biggest
GTA.
the biggest entertainment property of all time, dude. Don't tell me they don't sell games. They sell more games than anyone.
City Project Red does. City Project Red is best. But yeah, we wanted to talk about Valve and their
Yeah, so another kind
problematic
of
stuff in
big dog
France.
in the industry that's having change thrust upon them. Valve. So I'm not as well read on this as I'd like to be, but apparently it's sort of the end of a 4-year legal battle with the Paris courts. So this isn't relevant to either America or Australia, but we'll see whether or not other countries decide to follow suit. Have decided that Valve needs to allow its users to resell games.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. I think that's stupid. But yeah, what's your opinion on it?
I think it's a really good idea. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's a dumb idea.
Why?
And the reason, okay, there's only one reason, and I imagine it depends on how they deal with the pricing of these games. If they're reselling these games, and the pricing is the same as new, which it should be, because it will be a new. It's basically like digital games don't have wear and tear. They don't have anything about them that's broken. You can't break a digital game.
You don't
So
know
there
that.
wouldn't be used prices. I mean, you could probably break Skyrim. But look, because you're installing a different version of the game, it doesn't even matter. So, and I don't know too much about the laws, but I don't think used games would have to be sold for less.
No, I
Which
don't
is-
think they would have to be. At all. And if they're a digital game, what does it matter? And it like...
Well, then it's not really
this is, like,
reselling
literally-
games, is it?
This is literally just broke this morning. Or potentially last night, depending on time zones. And I think
Yeah.
it depends on the implementation of it and how Valve goes about it.
Yeah, so it has nothing to. It should have nothing to do with the buyer at all, by the sounds of it. You're just selling your game. You're just basically just getting a refund on your game. From, I guess it would be you would get it. You'd get less money back. Maybe that's the ticket there, but.
Yeah, no, because like, I mean, GameStop.
But if you're
and EB
reselling it
Games
for the
basically
same
survive
price,
off
you're just
digital,
getting
off reselling
games.
games. But they resell them
Yeah.
for less and a lot less. Like the amount they buy them off like the consumer for is, and then they put like a 100% markup
You
on
should
it or
remember
something like
this.
that. Like
You
it's
did
crazy.
Great the first time.
I wasn't here the first time.
Yeah, but
Someone
I'd-
stole my shell.
I'd have to look at how it's going to be
I borrowed
implemented.
it.
But I
To
think
save
so
all
far
the
it
time
doesn't
and
sound
space.
too smart. But yeah, I'd have to look into it.
It may well be the kind of thing where like it's not going to be game changing. It's just going to be like, all right, now you can sell games for the same price you bought them for.
Which is really good, because then you can buy a game, play it for
Then
like a
you
week.
can
or
sell a
something.
game that you're not,
After the Guardian
or you
destroyed
can
the
sell
Red
them
Line
for
the
whatever
first
the
time,
current
we
price
spent weeks
Valve
taking the
is selling
simulation
for.
apart. The Vex have rebuilt it entirely. You really messed things up this time, Osiris.
I don't know. I'll read it a little bit more.
but it is still early days, and it was only passed in France in like the Paris courts.
It hasn't been passed yet, has it?
No, that's what they've decided. Like it's not, there's no law that's been passed, but like the court case has been settled, and they've said that Valve needs to allow people, their consumers, to resell games.
Damn. yeah, it's interesting. I'd like to see the applications of this as it kind of
It'll
unfolds.
be very interesting to see the long-term ramifications of this. Yeah.
Valve is appealing.
Yeah, of course they do.
They don't want this.
Which
Yeah,
is
they don't want
interesting, because that begs the question of what would their revenues be? Because surely if you were reselling a game through their ecosystem, they would take a split of it. Which begs the question of, are you legally allowed to sell a game twice? Because that's
and
essentially
are
what
you
they're
actually-
doing. Like, you
Are you
bought the game off
actually
them,
reselling?
and now they're just gonna sell it again.
Yeah, like I don't understand it. Like, are you reselling their? Like, are you able? Can you get the full cut of it? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
like where
I feel
does
like
the money go? Kind of situation.
Yeah, like I don't know. You wouldn't.
Do they say in the article where the money goes?
Doesn't look like it.
'Cause I'm pretty sure it was just like a hard news. French court has ruled in favor of local consumer group to keep Valve from blocking Steam users who want to resell their games. So it is the user entirely reselling their game.
Yeah. Kind of like G2A, I imagine, sort of.
So it may well just like
Well,
it may well
G2A
be that
buys
Valve
systems,
doesn't
don't they?
set up a marketplace for this at all through Steam. It's just like, you know, you
They just
have to
allow
speak.
the.
They just allow for people to sell codes to each other in like person and just be like, here's a code, now give me $20.
Yeah.
Which previously may
sure.
well have been illegal,
I mean, G2A does a similar thing, don't they?
or at least
Except-
Valve. I mean, let's not talk about G2A. Those guys are bad dudes. But
yeah,
yeah,
they're not great.
that is kind of similar to what G2A does.
Except they just buy codes. They don't sell used codes. I don't think you can sell used codes because this is what this is all about. So yeah, it's a funky world is what I call this. Very funky world.
Big fun.
That's all I can say. Yeah. Next story is Shadowkeep next week.
And
That's
we're
the end
not
of
gonna
that.
play it. Big sad.
I'm not gonna play it. Maybe we'll play it on the podcast. I don't know. I probably won't have it even by then.
You don't have it. Because I'm. Oh god. Oh, it's rough. Yeah. Shadowkeep's coming
Rough
out.
to be a student. That's
like
that's
that.
the end of that story. Really.
Shadowkeep's coming out. Bungie's making some changes. So
Lots
this was kind of
changes.
like
We'll probably
very,
talk
very
about
niche.
that on the Shadowkeep podcast.
But they have announced that all the year 2 like powerful gear sources will not exist anymore, and they will clear you of no, they won't be clearing you of all the bounties you have. So for people doing the raid race, they've kind of like been put in a tizzy. Because currently the strategy, like they're both happy. They're happy about it because
Yeah.
I don't know, they don't like having to go back to old content and reuse old content.
Yeah.
But the point that I think Swetsicle made was that Bungie should clear bounties as well. Because even though like
I think they are
things like the
clearing
Dreaming
bounties,
City
aren't they?
bounty,
I thought that's what was happening.
and well, like it won't drop powerful gear anymore. But things like the Dreaming City bounty and the Gambit powerful bounty and like Crucible bounties, they will still drop XP, which you can use to level up your artifact.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't
So
know.
it may
I
well
thought they were
be the
getting-
case that like we get people that are. I mean, like contests will be active.
daily
And
bounties
contests.
were being completely deleted. Like,
No, they
weren't
still
gonna do
exist.
anything.
I'm pretty sure they still exist.
Oh, I'm pretty sure last twat he said something about. the new
I'm sure there is
stuff
still
not-
a set of bounties that will still exist and you still will be able to use to get bonus
Mine
XP,
has been
basically.
dismantled. What's next? We're putting up campfires all over
and
the place
improve
today.
the speed at which you can level
I'll
up
be honest,
your
I can't remember where we left here. We're in the middle of 3
artifact.
separate simulations.
We just met the biggest Vex cyclops I've ever seen.
I just got
and
helium
cracked it in
filaments.
Oh,
Like, as
Dendron,
in-
what?
Interesting.
The
He's playing
the
Destiny one.
location material from the moon.
I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Now get out of there
Nice.
before the simulation shuts down.
I don't know how you
Alright,
managed
whatever.
to do that, but good job.
I mean, they're coming back. They'll be in stuff. They'll be in
Yeah, so
be
the
in
actual
things.
next story is Anthem's dead. Or maybe
Dude,
it's just-
Anthem
it came
is
back to
dead
life for a bit?
again.
I don't know.
No, it didn't.
I don't know
It
if you
just,
can die
it just
again.
died again.
It's like it was.
So it
was
has no
undead.
player base.
It was still.
Its director left, and now they've abandoned their content roadmap.
Are they? Is it even a thing anymore? Like,
What
are
do you
they?
mean, is it even
Are
a
they
thing
coming
anymore?
back? I'm saying, like, if all that has happened, are they still? Is Anthem still?
Look,
a
they
live
say they're
service
still
game?
committed to making the game, right?
Oh, so it's not dead. It's just. It's on life. It's on some
It's
sort of.
just
life
dead.
support. Yeah, it's. Look. Oh,
Like EA
I
have
just
said
got-
they're committed to continually funding the development team to continue to make Anthem, but BioWare have Dragon Age 4 to make. So a lot of people have left. Assumably, a lot of people have left the Anthem dev team to go work on Dragon Age 4.
yeah.
And
they-
so they did their Cataclysm event, which was
Fun.
It was an event. Things
I
happened.
didn't
assume.
even hear about it. Apparently, it was supposed to be really good. But then apparently that didn't happen.
I still love that
Apparently-
fucking. Oh, that guy who's just like Anthem's Cataclysm event is gonna change the whole world, and Bungie is desperately moving up their free-to-play a date so that their player base doesn't get shot into the sun.
Yeah, it's.
It's like, nah, dude. Like, I want to believe, but also, nah, dude. Yeah, so they finished Cataclysm. Cataclysm happened, went out, they did it. It was kind of mediocre, from what I understand. And then in their sort of
I didn't even
what's
know what
next
happened,
for
to be
Anthem
honest.
post on the forums, it was essentially, we'll figure it out, but all that stuff we said was next, we're not doing that anymore. Because they did have a content
it's-
roadmap.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
and they've now
To be
abandoned
honest,
that content roadmap.
I fully forgot about the fact that they even had anything going for them. Anthem died really quickly. And Destiny's still alive? Destiny's still alive? The Vision is still kind of kicking.
It's still great. I just don't play it because I
Yeah, but that's basically the entire. That's all she wrote, isn't it?
Operation
Really all
Storm
she
Cone
wrote.
is ready for action.
Spider-Man.
Scouts have reported a sudden change in taken behavior.
Oh yeah, so this actually broke like last night at like maybe 1 in the morning our time, and I was
Yeah,
scrolling
2
through Twitter
a.m.
as you do.
Proper marching unit.
2 a.m. in the morning. Look, I really need to fix that sleep circle, and you're not helping me out here.
You were gonna go to bed at
News that
6?
the king crowned
What?
a new king.
No,
We'll have
it
a
was
look
like 2 a.m. It's when I
One of my
got the
teams
message
was
from you that
reported taken.
Spider-Man's back, and I was like, what?
Yeah, why'd you just mute your
Excuse me?
phone?
Notification tech can only do so much.
I was,
That's
I
not,
was
that's
on
not my
phone
fault.
too.
That is not my fault at all. You were already awake, dude.
Well,
That
let me
is
find out what time it
12,000%
was.
not my problem.
I think I sent you like a stupid meme. Yeah, I sent you like a stupid video. At 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh yeah, that guy who you're like,
One
this
of the
guy's
bots.
basically the joke, and I was like, no, this guy's dumb.
Killing that light returned
Oh,
the
he's
soil
so
and water
stupid.
resources.
Yeah, alright.
That was,
yeah, so
I don't know
Spider-Man-
what you're getting at.
Lasting effects.
I really don't.
Take them out.
Stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. So, you good? Can we continue?
Spider-Man's back! Yay! We get 2 movies.
Yeah, so, I think I went the wrong way, whoops. Whoops daddles.
Yeah, so Spider-Man's back.
Yeah,
in
so
the
Spider-Man
MCU.
left
Big
the
Daddy,
MCU,
Big Daddy
was
Disney,
out,
and
and everyone was
Big
like,
Money Sony.
yo, we're not doing it anymore, talks are off the table, it's done, it's over.
Yeah, I
Game
was
over.
looking for videos on the Spider-Man thing, and I think like Scream came up first, and they were basically it was like when you sent me this thing, I looked at videos on YouTube, and about 6 hours before that news broke, they were like, "Oh, freaking Spider-Man, mega dead, he's gone." Not half.
Yeah, so they were like that. Like I think the guys
gone.
from Sony were like, we're not discussing this further. Maybe somewhere down the line we might, but for now, that this is our position. And then Kevin Feige was like, "Yo, big sad, but you know, you got to do what you got to do."
And then like Iron Man snapped him back into the universe. That's what happened, right? That's the canonical wish.
And then yeah, so about 1:30 last night, I found a story on Twitter, as posted by IGN, and I went and found a couple of follow-ups from various other sources.
Yeah,
You gotta check your sources, guys. That's good journalism. You gotta have at least 3 sources.
Yeah, but
to
now
say
like
something.
it's all over the place now. So yeah, basically the sources are real.
It's better to be late.
But, yeah,
than
Spider-Man-
right. As my lecturers say, it's better to be late and be right than be
I'm
first
still
and
tracking
wrong.
taken energy nearby.
Unless you're
All over
running
the water
like the
facility.
Onion,
And
in which case
under.
you know you can do as long as you
Whatever's
want.
must be underground.
Oh, I don't have. This guy's bad at the video game.
But yeah, friggin' Spidey's.
Yeah, so
Spidey's
he's back
He's
for-
back for one movie
One solo movie
in
and then
his
another
Homecoming
team up.
trilogy. And yeah, one more team up, which I imagine is going to be Avengers, because
Should be
please
Avengers
don't use him in
20,
like
26.
Multiverse of Madness or the Captain Marvel film. Like, please put him in Avengers. Secret Avengers. I don't know what the other Avengers storylines are. I just know that one is one of the storylines.
Yeah, so Spider-Man's back. Everyone's super happy about it. Tom Holland was posting on Twitter about how he's super stoked about it. Everyone's
Yeah,
pleased.
he's
It's a good time to be alive,
back.
basically. Good time to
the
be Tom
brand new
Holland.
track.
Good time
Yeah.
to be... How
Good
does, is
time
this
to
guy a
be
magician?
literally-
What?
It's a good time to be literally anyone in the MCU. Anyone who likes
Yeah.
the MCU.
Have loads of money.
Sad time to be RDJ because he doesn't. I mean, he's not making.
He's got more money than
$1
God.
million every
alright?
single.
Apparently,
year.
I saw a headline somewhere that apparently he's going to be the Black Widow. Which
Oh,
I
that
was
makes
kind of
sense.
irritated about, to be honest. So I'm like, dead. Just let him be dead.
Yeah, but so is Black Widow.
Yeah, but that's
you
a
know.
different story. Like, that's like, she deserves her own solo. Iron Man got 3 of those, and then died, and was in all the Avengers movies and Cap 3. And he was in Spider-Man.
He was in every movie, and every single year he made billions of dollars just from like existing. Like he wasn't a massive part of it. Was he?
What? Yeah, I mean, he was in it.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was like in it, and he still probably made 15% of that movie's income.
Did he actually,
Which
like,
is
take
insane.
15% of Endgame's income?
He took a lot.
Like, I know
he
it was a
he made
big
lot of money,
cut.
which is fair, because like he was one of the biggest reasons to watch that movie, because like it was his story, right? Like Iron Man through to Endgame, that's Iron Man's story.
Not necessarily.
So it makes sense. It's kind of more. It's like it's Iron Man and Captain America, but look, Iron Man
That'd be
is
a
probably the
ridiculous
best.
Nah,
The
dude,
whole
Captain
10
America's are at that.
years. No, because
Team Cap all the way.
I'm Team Iron Man.
Really? Why?
Just because I like Iron Man. I like him more than all the other ones. That's a controversial thing. Maybe we'll do a rap battle of history.
A rap battle? No. Then I'd have to be able to rap.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, I'm
you
so
don't
bad with the
journalists don't teach you how to rap.
Nah, dude, they don't.
Sometimes to be a journalist.
Isn't like, I think it's the Washington Post. You know what TikTok is?
Yeah, I know what.
You see the
Please.
Washington Post's TikTok?
I don't have TikTok. I just know what
It's
it
the
is.
funniest thing. Because it's like, it's clearly just like 2 like bottom
Old white dudes.
tier headquarters who like the old farts in charge were just like, all right, you can deal with this newfangled technology because we don't understand it. So they basically just do whatever they want, and it's like hilarious.
I should get TikTok. This is right. That's what I'm hearing from this. But we have
TikTok as well.
Oh yeah, we have a Rooster Teeth story. Rooster Teeth is dead.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth is dead. It's over. Rooster Teeth's over party.
Rooster Teeth is over party. Yeah, fucking same joke. Fucking fuck.
Taking energy is
God damn.
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of like
is not.
No one knows who Rooster Teeth is, but like basically their entire like top echelon of people have all moved into new roles where they don't have as much sort of corporate engagement with the like the Rooster Teeth brand. What? Come on, team.
Yeah, I think people know what Rooster Teeth is. They're a pretty big company in terms of like the internet.
I mean, in terms of the internet, sure.
In terms of like internet culture.
But no, actually, I had a thought about this the other night. I was sitting on the toilet, and it occurred to me that like Bernie and Matt and Jeff are all very old. So it may well be that they took these positions because they are intending to retire in the next couple of like years.
Well, yeah, like Bernie basically doesn't even exist in Reverse 2 anymore, and I don't think he's doing much more. Have you seen the sketch where they got a robot to write their skit? Like an AI.
I think I definitely saw something on
real
Twitter.
recent.
Saw something on Twitter about how they got a robot to write.
My favorite joke is that the robot was like, when Bernie came in, he was like, "Hello, I'm Bernie. I am a Tesla. I'm rich and angry."
I'll consult her about this.
I'm rich and I am.
And I'm like, and then he left. That was like, that was his entire part. Like he is a Tesla and he's rich and angry. And I'm like, yeah, that's like based on all of the shorts that I've seen, that is absolutely the case. But yeah, other than that, yeah, Matt isn't CEO anymore, and most of the founders are not in. They're in creative roles mostly, like
Which is probably where they prefer to
creative
be
roles.
honest.
Yeah,
And
they
it
don't
is
want to be
also
running
very much
companies.
so like in the next few years they can step out of those roles and the company doesn't implode.
Yeah.
That's my theory on it. But it is very big sad. Apparently, I didn't get to see it, but Jeff did an AMA on the Rooster Teeth side about like his new role essentially.
Yeah, I think he has a bigger role, doesn't he?
I don't really know much about like the corporate structure.
His role sounds bigger. Yeah, look, we're just this was a time buffer just because we heard about it and we brought it up for like a second, and it's a podcast time. We just started. Welcome to the Underprepared podcast. Yeah, so I want to learn about what this friggin' Call of Duty one is. We have a story about Call of Duty.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't know what it is. And you were talking about it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. Tell me.
Call of Duty. So it was kind of two things that broke at once, but one of them is a rumor, and it's not like probably not far off the money. So second one's a rumor. The first one is that there will be a mode that is locked to PlayStation for an entire year. I forget what it's called.
Ooh, that's mega fucked. But that's kind of like zombies being locked.
But one of yeah, I mean that's
Activision
have been pally with PlayStation basically for the entire runtime of the generation, and it makes sense that they are going to continue that. But a whole year, like that's basically the entire lifetime of a Call of Duty. So it's essentially a mode that is exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, that's a bit. Like, I'm not gonna get the next Call of Duty. I don't usually only get the Blackout versions.
I honestly don't even think I'm gonna get the next Black Ops.
Yeah, to be honest, they're not getting any better.
What we need to kill today.
Well, technically,
the thing is, I think they like PlayStation
Like
5
I really like,
year, isn't
I
it?
really like Black Ops
So-
4. Oh, Black Ops 4. I think its zombies mode is solid. I think Blackout's loads of fun.
Oh, we have
Its
to play
guns
the
are all
new
kind of samey.
zombies map too.
We have to barely play zombies.
Yeah, we need to get
I
into
don't think
it.
it's out yet
All those
on,
Easter eggs. No. Oh yeah, it's probably
on
out
Xbox.
on PlayStation. God damn. But yeah, locking
Yeah, so
the mode to one console for an entire year basically just means that it's useless to be bought on Xbox. Which means I imagine that Sony paid
I mean, like
Activision
the
millions.
guys. Activision paid. Not Sony paid Activision.
Sony would have paid Activision.
No, Activision pays Sony. No, wait, what? Who's making Call of Duty?
Sony would have paid Activision $1 billion so that Activision's games are on Sony's platform for an entire year.
Yeah.
Sony is the people that make
Yeah,
PlayStation
that.
5.
Yeah. Yeah, that. I just had like a stroke. I swear to God.
Yeah, it sounded like it. It absolutely did. It was a bit of a problem. But yeah. So Activision.
And on
I imagine
top
they paid
of
a lot
that,
because it's basically not worth buying Call of Duty on Xbox. So
I mean, it still is. You just don't
Just
get
a
that
bug.
one mode. I don't remember what the mode is, but like one of the devs on
Is it
Twitter did come
Blackout?
out and say that like there's still loads of other content in the game. Like you still have access to 90% of the content. It's just this one thing.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna get it. So you know.
Yeah, I'm not particularly
So not my
interested in the next
problem.
Call of Duty either. I think it'll
don't
be
think-
interesting to see how it performs. I don't think it'll
And I think
perform
exclusive-
particularly well, but it's got like a really sort of positive buzz around it.
Yeah, but I think the
Or at least it
exclusive
did prior
nature
to
of
this.
the of the game probably will kill it on Xbox and people won't get it.
Many elements of your first business have been recreated.
Which is weird.
Only
because
the
Call of
algorithm
Duty's
is
been
missing.
a giant for a really long time.
Fight as if your life depends
And it
on
is. Look,
it.
it's still
Dead.
big, and it still sells like
You say that
10
like this isn't
Crazy.
your fault.
tens of millions of copies.
It won't
It's just
happen
not as
again.
big as it needs to be a sustainable product.
Yeah.
So yeah, on top of that, there's also been a rumor that there's gonna be, or like a leak that there's gonna be guns in like the loot boxes and stuff, which is pretty
There's
par for the
already
course
guns in the
with
loot
Call of Duty. Like there's already
Yeah.
guns in the loot boxes. So people are kind of mad about it, like being paid to win and stuff, but like all the best guns will be in the loot boxes.
Are everywhere.
Activision's killing their games. They literally, I don't know if they just hate them. They're like
Activision's
putting
killing
them
their
one by
company,
one.
dude.
Yeah. I-
They, I mean, that's the kind of
Overwatch
thing
is
with
dying.
big companies like Activision.
Literally all the Blizzard.
They don't like to evolve. They like to just sort of figure out what works and then just do that forever.
That would be the root mind.
Yeah,
And they
I
don't
mean,
like
if they
it
make-
takes them a very long time to realize, hang on a minute, maybe this ain't a great, maybe this doesn't work in the current climate anymore, and we need to, an exotic, and we need to come up with something.
So I imagine Bungie had a sigh of relief when Stadia probably bought them out.
When
I don't
you
know
were
what
like,
Stadia
yo,
did, but-
you want all the money, like
Yeah,
roughly
you want your
all
game
of it.
to not be like drowned in a pool by Activision, because that's what Activision's doing to
You
everything
really
they
messed
have.
things up this time,
Like they're
Osiris.
just
It's true. It's
They're
not
tying
good.
the
Guy has to
nooses.
take security. The Guardian has this handle.
that's their company. That's what their company does now. Which is morbid, but, you know.
It's more
Part
because
of
it's
the
the
course.
truth, right?
Yeah. Morbius is coming out. Oh, and
Morbius? I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking
it's
about.
part of the Venomverse. It's the new Spider-Man.
Oh dear. Oh no. That doesn't sound good.
Jared Leto? Is it Jared Leto playing Morbius? Which is an interesting choice again.
I don't know,
He was
dude.
bad in the...
Jared Leto's a really talented actor. I'm pretty sure he's won an Oscar or an Emmy or something.
Oh yeah, I imagine
He's also like 100
seen him.
years old as well.
Oh dude, Matt Smith is in Morbius? That's interesting. Okay, that's a bit of a tangent. But, you know. Oh, why Jared? Oh, okay, let's go on to Looper. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't expect the Vex would have their defenses on this bomb established so quickly.
Not a fan of like the Venom movie was good.
No,
Like, just
that's a lie.
just because it was Tom Hardy was good. That was
Venom was not good.
Tom
you
Hardy
just, that's
in
fake
the Venom
news.
movie was good. Tom Hardy in the Venom movie was good. Venom movie, I'll give it a 5 passes. I mean, it made a lot more money, so I'll give it a 6. Maybe a 5.5.
There's also been, I don't know whether or not you've seen this, but there's been a whole bunch of people went to Bungie and played a bunch of the content for Shadowkeep.
Ooh.
And I think Datto has a Nightfall Strike out on his channel, as well as just like a Wombo that he did around the moon. I think IGN have something out as well.
Well, yeah, remember like all of the people that were mad that we had to go to the moon?
Demolition charges into every floor of the spire and
Yeah.
reduced it to bits
I know.
Yeah, that was a
It does look very similar to the moon we had previously, but apparently he couldn't go into a lot of like the higher level areas because they were surrounded by immune enemies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to see. They're doing a bunch of damage. I don't think they're doing damage changes, but they're changing kind of damage stacks, buff stacks, and we've talked.
They are
the
changing
damage numbers.
I think
It
like,
changes the damage.
mages
Not
take
changing
less
the damage.
headshot damage or some shit, like across the board, so that they're like it feels like more of a fight essentially.
Yeah, which is I mean
There was a twab about it
Yeah, so I think
because they
that's
basically like
Do we?
they buffed a whole
We
bunch of
have-
stuff and then they nerfed like guardians
Mine is
across the
reaching
board.
out, trying to take control from me. I've isolated your simulation
Do we have
from
more
the rest of the
stories?
forest, but I can only do so much to keep the Vex mind in check.
Hold on. It won't be
I
around.
mean,
well,
Anthem's still
friggin-
dead. Valve is.
Anyone was here to watch this stream, you would have just seen me kill millions of people with my gun, my golden gun. Sad times. All right.
Actually, no.
man
Before
with
we
the
go,
golden gun.
so we said on the last episode that we did that we'd have updated thoughts on the Borderlands. If we haven't,
And I haven't
do
been
we
able to
have
play.
any?
Haven't been able to play.
So
Haven't gotten
your
to the end
opinion
game
is
yet.
still as it stands, as it stood 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
My
they did
opinion
just do
is
a
slightly
bunch of
different.
patch notes. Yeah. Are any of them spoilery?
Little bit. So I
Any of them
think
spoilery to me.
a little bit.
Okay, well then
vague.
I don't know. It'd be mega vague. I mean, I already know that one.
So I think, and Gearbox have kind of admitted this, and they've patched it, but I don't think they've patched it quite enough. I think Zane is kind of weak source in the end game. I don't think he's nearly as powerful and does nearly as much damage as any of the other characters, like across the board.
Yeah, his digiclone's been buffed. But yeah, he probably needs a few more buffs across the board.
I would like to see some of his skills get changed to sort of reinterpret the way you should play him. Because I think he's very kind of like, he's fun and he's good, but he doesn't hit nearly as hard as like Flack does. Like I was in a Mayhem 3 Rift with Harry the other day, and I basically couldn't do anything to any of the enemies, and Harry he was struggling, but like he could still kill stuff with less than like 12 clicks.
Yeah, so friggin' Flak's been nerfed. So crit Flak has been nerfed, which is what Harry plays, and Melee Amara, which was OP for a while there, is also nerfed into the ground a little bit.
Yeah, so there's
Back to life skill. So yeah,
there's that.
Borderlands.
We just pulled the plug on this spire's
There's that. I'm not done yet.
Still think
I think the main story is very
Excuse us while we
offensively fetch quest heavy.
Yeah,
Like
that's
so
part of
much
the
of it
point.
is like I'm
Very
replaying
much.
through it now on mode, and it's like so much of it is like, all right, now before we do the thing, we have to go and do we have to go and find this other thing. All right, that other thing wasn't there. All right, now go find another thing so we can find the first thing so we can do the other thing. Like I'm doing the like Guns of Reliance quest at the moment, and it's like, why does this quest exist outside of just like straight padding?
You're so
this
good
quest
at
does
cleaning
not
up
need to
Osiris'
exist, and like this
defenses.
whole
I'll make sure it
storyline
doesn't
about like
happen
going to
again.
find the
Now get
dude
out of there
is
before
just
the
like
simulation
irrelevant,
shuts
basically.
down.
You talk to him once, and he gives you a bad gun.
Yeah, I mean,
And the same
I'm
goes
sure
for like
there's-
the Balex quest as well. That's like this is just padding. It doesn't need to exist.
I liked the Balex quest, but yeah, there's a lot of.
I mean, it's a cool
think
quest,
fetch
but-
quests are kind of how.
Fundamentally,
most
in the
of
grand
Borderlands
scheme of
2
the
is-
story, it is absolutely just padding.
Most of Borderlands 2 is pretty fetch questy though, so
True, but I feel like it's less
Like, that's-
offensively fetch questy. It's a lot more go here, do a thing, good job, you did it. It's not go here, do a thing, oh we couldn't do the thing, alright now go do this other thing, alright you've done that thing, now come back to the second place we went, alright sweet,
Yeah.
now go do another thing, alright sweet, now come back and we can do the first thing that we set out to do originally. Like that's so much of what it's like.
yeah, the story has never been Borderlands' strong point.
I mean, I don't have a
Just
problem
like-
with the writing. I think the writing is fine. I think Ava's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
annoying, but I think she's written that way intentionally.
yeah, she's supposed to be like.
I
that.
just have an issue with the structure of the story.
Yeah. And that so far, like I had problems with Grave Ward and most of the bosses just kind of being sponges. You don't have that issue apparently, or you
No, I
haven't
don't. I think the
talked about
bosses are
it, but-
pretty. I mean, they're bosses. I think they're fine for the most part.
Yeah, I think they're problematic. I think Grave Ward, he's just been nerfed, but he's also been buffed. He's also been nerfed. So
It's been rebalanced.
elemental damage does less damage to him, but his health has also been reduced by 20%, which is a lot, which is good, because it took me like 20 minutes to kill him, which is insane.
Yeah, that is pretty nuts. And also, I kind of mentioned this to you before we started, but True Vault Hunter mode is irrelevant and does not need to exist. And the same goes for Circle of Slaughter. Like, they both
Alright.
exist,
Yeah, I haven't. Gone
but
that far
because
yet,
so
but
when
I
you finish the
imagine-
campaign, you unlock Guardian rank and Mayhem modes. And going into Mayhem modes is the best way to level up to Guardian rank because it gives you bonus XP and makes all the enemies harder to kill. I mentioned that I was playing Mayhem 3 with Harry earlier.
Escaped inmates are going to town
Yep.
with Reef.
Right? But you can't activate Mayhem modes in True Vault Hunter mode.
Then you'll want to
You have to finish the story again.
It's going haywire.
Which means, in terms of like grinding endgame, and given that when you're in a Mayhem mode as well, the whole like world scales to your level, so you can go and fight all the bosses at level 50, as far as I'm aware. And you can't
Maybe
do that in
there's-
True Vault Hunter mode
Is that barracks?
because you don't have Mayhem mode, so you earn XP slower
Barracks left his
than
pet
you would
server
if you were
behind.
just doing like the Proving Grounds over and over and over and over and over. And like I get it if you want like the quest rewards and stuff, because there are some pretty dope quest rewards.
Yeah, maybe you get to level 50 in normal and Mayhem mode, and then move on to True Vault Hunter just to get like the level 50 quest rewards.
Let's move this.
Maybe
person.
But
the
like that's
idea.
a lot of work that
Cell
you
blocks
have
are
to
up
put in
Drifter,
just to
you
get a
seem
couple
like
of
you've
quest
got some
rewards.
intel
Like
on
I
this
can
place.
think of
How many cell blocks did they
like
open?
2 quest
Let's just
rewards
say
that are
you're
remotely
in for the
interesting.
biggest gunfight to ever happen in prison.
I think the ice grenade from there was an ice grenade that I really liked. It was like a nerve ice grenade that absolutely destroyed shit.
I'm gonna die.
But yeah,
And the Memento Mori like there's still lots of quest reward as well.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's the Queen Call, isn't it? Queen's
No.
Call? No. Yeah, the Queen's Call was just nerfed, so Harry's gonna be mad.
Well, yeah, so I think sort of, I really like the addition of Guardian rank and the Mayhem modes. I think they're really cool. I just think when you combine them with still having True Vault Hunter mode, I just think it's like, it's a legacy mode that doesn't need to exist at this point. And like, I'm playing
Yeah.
through it just being like, this is depressingly slow leveling in comparison to just being in like Mayhem 2 and doing
Are you level
the
50
Proving
yet?
Grounds. Yeah, I'm level 50. I've been level 50 for ages, dude. You can get to level 50 before you even go into True Vault Hunter mode pretty easily.
That's pretty good. I'm about it. Yeah, I can't wait to like catch up. So how many Mayhem levels are there?
It's
I
3.
imagine it's kind of like overpower. Great. So you can't get to 8.
But like 3 is, and it's not like overpower. Because your gun's bulletproof.
Oh, okay. So it's overpowered, but you don't get gear that's overpowered.
No, you don't. You get, there's like higher chance for loot drop, so you might end up getting like objectively better items or stuff. I don't think you would. Because as far as I'm aware, my item score is kind of capped out at about low 600s. Like, I don't really ever see anything that's above that.
Yeah, I'd like to see how they deal with that, like that sort of stuff in the updates, like the map updates. What are they called? DLCs. Alright, yeah, DLCs. Yeah, I'd like to see what they do with leveling stuff like that in the DLC. If they're gonna make it worth it. Bring Santos back with double treading Harold. Just like, why not? Slag? Bring Slag back.
Dude, they brought back the Butcher. It's a legendary now, and it's fucking dope.
Yeah, they brought back Storm as well. And it's still shit. It's still
Yeah,
bad.
so
I mean,
like
it might
that's
be...
not really like a criticism because like the game is still a lot of fun, and like there is still true vault on the mode that you can go and play if you want to, and the game doesn't ever like force you into playing it. It just kind of tells you that it's there, but it's just kind of like I would have really liked if I could turn on the Mayhem modifiers and then play through the story again and get loads of XP. And better.
Do you have Guardian rank in True?
Yeah, Guardian. Once you finish the story on one character, every one of your characters starts leveling up Guardian rank.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
As far, I'm pretty sure I'm.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll have to maybe next week. Probably.
And
not.
also, Guardian rank does kind of concern me because it's infinite, and it levels up pretty quick. They didn't delete it. They disabled it because it was broken.
Yeah, that might as well
it was like really broken as well. It could.
Red Legion.
It would ignore
Was it
health
the
gate.
Blood
It could kill you, and it could kill your allies.
Stopped. The Cabal's seat of power now resides in orbit.
Oh.
around
Yeah, it
this
was the blood explosion.
giant fish.
So like bonus damage for headshots gets converted to
Shit.
and that explosion
Would it
could kill you. It would ignore health gate, and it could kill your allies.
That's exactly what we're here for. Where did that guy come from? Oh, I have a view on that. Hey, viewer. We're about to end. We're literally gonna end right now.
Yeah, so that's kind of it for this week. So to recap, Valve is maybe gonna allow you to is going to allow you to resell games. Anthem is still dead, and only getting more dead.
Yeah. And apparently, no, it can only go up from here. Like, they've already hit the bottom.
Yeah, dude, it can only go up. Tell yourself that. Maybe that's EA's position. If we just keep, like, we're at rock bottom, it only gets better from here, right?
Yeah,
right?
they can only make
Right?
money now.
Right? Close? Oh, God. People are mad at about Call of Duty.
Fortnite. Oh, and yeah, the people are just.
And there are bots in
general.
Fortnite. Because the game needs new players and doesn't have any.
And Spider-Man.
And yeah, Spider-Man's back.
MCU.
Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but I heard a headline somewhere that apparently Kevin Feige is going to make a Star Wars film.
Yep, he is. He's doing Star Wars. He's gonna bring that back from the dead, and then he's gonna
save Star Wars.
He's gonna create a Star Wars cinematic universe that is separate from Star Wars.
Interesting thing about Kevin Feige, his name has been associated with a lot of really shit films.
Yeah, but his name has also been associated with I was gonna say possibly the most successful franchise, but then I remembered that it has at least double the amount of this franchise underneath it. I'm pretty sure it's Star Wars, so he's in control of two of the most successful franchises in the entire world.
What was the math we did the other night that was calculated how much, or I calculated how much money the MCU has made?
Like, it was like 11 billion or something like that.
I think it was like 11 billion when accounting for the price that they paid to buy Marvel, the price they paid for every film plus marketing, thereabouts.
Yeah.
And
that's just
how
for
much
the
each
movie.
film
We're
makes.
not even including like
It's made like
the
$11
toys,
billion.
which-
Yeah, that's not including TV or toys or
merchandising.
DVD sales or anything. That's just
And merchandising arguably makes them more money because just the turnaround at least on it. Like it's 5 cents to build a plastic toy, and they can sell that for $16. Like
true, dude. Merchandising
It's-
makes loads and loads and loads of money. That's basically like why so many, like that's the theory why Rey has that double-sided lightsaber.
Waits below.
It's because now they can sell like a double lightsaber.
To you.
You're like, dude, you're like
yeah,
Rey now.
and I'm pretty
Everyone will buy it.
sure.
Stand proud.
I'm not,
And also like collector's
Don't
item
quote me.
merchandising is crazy.
don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Marvel has merchandising rights to Spider-Man.
To airlock.
Sony just has the film rights.
They might be, yeah.
Yes. You fought.
Yeah.
You won.
1 second. We can do a quick
Treasure.
Spider-Man merchandising rights.
Looks like the trickster left you a
I
present.
don't know. Friggin' everything's about.
But she made me laugh. You're in
Oh,
the
they
prison
sold.
mainframe.
So
crazy
Sony sold the
servant
merchandising
nest.
rights
Buckle
to someone.
up. He's got some grizzled veterans with
Some
him.
random, some dude.
Sold them to one dude. It's like some
One
random
guy
dude.
was
That
like,
dude's
"Yo,
making
I'll
a
give you
lot of money
$5."
now.
Potentially, I don't know. I don't see a lot of
This is a real-
Spider-Man merchandise.
Is here.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe like only one dude has Spider-Man merchandising. That's it.
Also, Tom Cook went out of business as well, which is like a big set. Thomas.
Who's Thomas Cook?
They're the oldest travel agents ever. They started in like
I'm making a mental note
1850
never
or
to
some
piss
shit,
you
and they just
off.
went out of business and left like
No hostiles
a
on
good
track.
few
I'll
thousand
bring the
people
ship in
stranded.
transmat range.
Hey,
So are they like Flight
I
Center?
might be looking for someone to watch my back one of these
No.
They're
days.
like Flight Center or
To
Flight
bring some
Center own
major
their own
heat
planes.
to a gunfight. You for
Oh,
hire?
cool.
I'll be in touch.
Well, that's
That's not
the end of the
pop culture
podcast.
or like video game anything. That's just like
That's just the fun thing. That's a fun fact.
That,
Trivia, dude.
basically no one uses a travel agent anymore.
I use.
Do you ever
travel
use the
agent.
travel
I have
agent?
so many.
Why?
I have so many
You
travel.
don't
agents.
travel.
I have, yeah, I have 40 travel agents. That's. How many do you? How many is a normal amount?
I don't think you know how a travel agent works.
I imagine that they're a company,
You're
and
one!
the company has at least 500 members. So I have one travel agent, and that travel agent has one travel agent, and then it goes down like a line to the top. It doesn't. It goes up a line.
Do you know what a
End
travel
of
agent
line.
does?
They travel, and that's basically. I don't know what the agent part is. They're like a secret service. They travel to the
You being
CIA.
for real right now? Do you legit not know what a travel agent is?
The CIA and the FBI.
Seriously, is that your actual answer?
In Australia, the only this is not fake news. In Australia, the only travel agents that you can get a hold of are SAS operators. Because we
No,
don't have the CIA or the FBI. But we
it's not
have
true.
the SAS. This is true. This
We
is
also have the
fact.
AFP, dude. Like they exist.
The AFP aren't the SAS though. They don't do travel. They do holiday, domestic
Are
holiday.
you being serious right now? Are you actually being serious? Do you not know what a travel agent is?
I just explained to you what a travel agent was. Word
Like,
for word.
for reals.
Definition. See, look,
What is a
I'll
travel
look up the
agent?
definition, and you'll be like, that's a travel agent. Yeah, see, look, the definition of a travel agent is a person whose job it is to arrange travel to the FBI.
No, that's fake
On
news.
behalf of the SAS.
No, it's fake news. So you don't know what a travel agent is. Anthem's dead. Fortnite's dying. People are mad about Call of Duty, and Valve is basically GameStop now. And that's that. That's the weekly roundup.
Spider-Man's back.
And Spider-Man's back. And Kevin Feige is the new George Lucas.
He's got a travel agent. He's got a travel agent.
No, he probably doesn't, because no one has a travel agent anymore. So as always, I don't think we introduced ourselves at the top, but that's fine. My name's
all the
Sam.
stuff.
Find me on Twitter at SamDurkis. My Twitter handle will be in the description. And you are...
Yes, I am also there. I'm also available via that Twitter handler and the name. The same.
Alright, whatever. You clearly lost it. I need to eat food.
Me too.
Game.
And this is... I forgot the... Woefully Underprepared.
Yeah. Alright.
Episode 5. Welcome to the podcast.
What are you doing?
I just
It's
named the podcast.
been lovely. I don't know what my co-host is going on about. He's literally had a stroke.